Good morning and welcome, citizens of Douglas County. The October 6, 2025 work session of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Roll call. County Clerk, could you please take the roll for the record?
Yes, ma'am. District 1 Commissioner Henry Mitchell. Present. District 2 Commissioner Whitney Kenner Jones is absent. District 3 Commissioner Martin Raxton.
Present.
District 4 Commissioner Vice Chair Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones.
Present. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Did we have anyone sign up for public comment today?
Yes, ma'am. We had one individual. Before I call you up, I'll just remind the citizens that you'll have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your 3 minutes are up, we'll ask you to wrap up your comments. When you reach the mic, please restate your name and your subject matter. Our citizen is Sharon Crenshaw.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Crenshaw.
Thank you for having me. My name is Sharon Crenshaw. My subject matter is Douglas County CSB. Ever since it's split from Cobb County, it has been a cancer growing in our community, and they are abusing people in the supportive housing program. I will name them specifically: Tijuana Chiota and Ray Lightford. I have asked for public records, open records, maintenance records. I'm not going to say a lot here, but I have contacted my senator. I went to his public hearing, and he told me that he vowed Senator Warnock to help me. And I also spoke to John Ossoff's office, and they told me that they were going to put me in front of the housing, before Congress, to speak on housing. I want this cancer investigated. I want them terminated, and I have a lot of evidence that I can expose. That's all I want to say here. I'm humbly asking for a meeting with I don't know exactly who, but I can wait till after the meeting, and I need to speak to someone. That's basically it.
Okay. Any comment? Okay, thank you so much and we'll take this matter under advisement. And I believe you're supposed to speak with me after it's over with, after this meeting, and I look forward to speaking with you, okay? Thank you so much for coming forth this morning. We'll take this matter under advisement. Clerk? I believe the next one is the... Okay, yeah. That's it. We don't have anyone else. Board of Commissioners, we're going to move to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda forward?
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please prepare to cast your votes. Please indicate by raising your right hand if you're in agreement. We have a 4 unanimous vote and the motion carries. All right. Board of Commissioners, let's just be mindful of our time limit this morning. We have 3 minutes to make remarks and 2 minutes for rebuttal. Next is the approval of the minutes. Next on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes. Commissioners, please review those minutes before tomorrow's meeting and then be prepared to approve or deny accordingly. Agenda items. We will begin with our agenda items. Clerk, please begin with the first agenda item.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow we will have a proclamation proclaiming October 2025 as World Blindness Awareness Month and October 15th, 2025 as White Cane Day in Douglas County. Ms. T. Morgan will be here to read that. Our business items, number 5. We have authorization to accept funds from the State Court Technology Fund and amend the State Court General Fund budget in the amount of $760.98 for the purchase of a laptop for the Chief Judge of State Court. Chief Judge Eddie Barker is here to present and answer any questions.
Okay. Good morning, Chief Judge.
Morning.
How are you?
So just briefly, the funds for this come from the Technology Fund. I will tell you that I didn't do this lightly, but the laptop that I've been using, I've had since 2013. I got it when I started the Accountability Court program, and it's on its last leg. So it's just update in technology that we need to do. If y'all have any questions?
Thank you so much, Judge Parker. Any questions, board? Okay. Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, good morning, Judge.
Morning.
How are you doing, Judge
Good.
Parker? Good. Is this considered just a pass-through, just to get the funds?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess my question, I'm just curious of why is it coming before the Board of Commissioners, but,
You're asking the wrong person. I
Okay.
was just told I had to be here.
okay. All right, well, I'll follow up with that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Madam Chair, you have the floor back to
Okay,
you.
thank you. Any other questions, board? Thank you so much, Chief Judge.
Thank you.
for
Good to
what
see you
do.
all.
Chief
Have a good
Ju-
day.
Thank you, Judge Parker. All right.
Okay.
Tab tab number 6.
Yes, number 6, Vanessa Francikowski. She is delayed getting here, so she asked that we move this to the next meeting. So we're going to skip over this one and move it to the next meeting.
Okay.
So we'll move to number 7, approval of a memorandum of affiliation agreement between Douglas County School System and the Douglas County Fire EMS Department's Training Division to continue providing student instruction in its EMT training program at no cost to the county, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chief Allen.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners, County
Morning.
Administration. Yes, we're just requesting approval for this agreement to continue providing EMT courses to the Douglas County School System.
Okay. Any questions, board? Our chief? All right. Madam Clerk?
Okay. Number 8 is approval to reimburse paramedic student tuition in the amount of $3,741.60 to be funded by the fire department budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chief Allen.
Yes, so we're looking to ask approval to reimburse a paramedic student who already paid the cost for their paramedic class prior to the approval of the board approving to pay for paramedic school.
Okay. Any questions, board? Okay. Next one.
Okay. Number 9
Madam
is
Clerk?
approval, I'm sorry. Number 9 is approval to purchase 32 X-Series Zoll advanced monitors, defibrillators, and associated peripherals in the amount of $1,713,457.20 to be funded by the Douglas County Fire EMS Fund balance, amend the budget, and waive the requirements for this item to go before the Finance Committee due to the emergency nature and compliancy with the Federal Drug Administration and the Georgia Department of Public Health rules and regulations, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Chief Allen.
Yes, recently we had the State Office of EMS come down and look and do an evaluation of all of our vehicles and our medical equipment, and they noticed that six of our monitors needed to be replaced. And so to replace those monitors, we have to replace all 35 monitors, because you can't have a mismatch of monitors due to the survivability and making sure that you're getting the right readings on all the monitors. In addition, the new monitors have to be FDA and DPH certified and compliant.
Okay. Any questions, board? Okay. Okay. Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
Just curious, as far as, I know you said this is an emergency nature, not to take it forth to the Finance Committee. So I just was curious, what necessitates, or what is causing the emergency? Is it a timing? I'm just trying to make sure I'm clear on
So
that.
the current monitors that we have presently are beyond its shelf life, and in order to get the new monitors that we need, if we wait until next year, the price will be extensively higher than what they are within the next few months. So in order to get the ones that we have to get now, that's what makes it such an emergency, because we have to have the right ones in accordance with the compliancy issues.
Okay, so I guess to follow on to that, if we waited to run it through and have the conversation through the Finance Committee this year, will we still have enough time to meet the timeline before the end of the 2025 calendar year to, if we move forward with the recommendation to purchase them?
I think the expediency is to make sure that we have them before the midpoint of this last quarter. So that's with making sure with having the quotes and and getting the right monitors and getting the ones off the trucks that are in the shelf life, because they were done 2-3 years ago. We need to get these ones on the trucks as soon as possible.
Okay. Will we lose those savings or any type of rebates or additional savings if we didn't act now from the vendor?
The current monitors that we have will be a trade-in to Zoll.
Okay.
So I don't know if we would lose any savings. The expediency, once again, is to make sure that we have them as soon as possible before the price increase, because the price increases they just go up exponentially within, months.
Okay. All right, thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Axton. Commissioner Mitchell, you have the floor.
Just a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
So I think I'm understanding the emergency, but if I heard you correctly, you just stated that this was 2 years or 3 years ago that you noticed that you needed these? Or was that a correct statement that you just made?
No, the current monitors that we have right now are end of life, and
They are at their end of life, you said?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, they're at the end of life right now. I think 2 years beyond, maybe 2 or 3 years beyond their end of life right now. So when we're required by the State Office of EMS, because we're moving all our engines to paramedic engines.
Okay.
And those paramedic engines right now will have drug boxes, and they have to have the new monitors, which are the defibrillators.
Understood.
The current ones right now just have AEDs and with no drug boxes, but we're going to paramedic engines right now.
Right. And what I'm trying to get to is, as Commissioner Raxton was trying to understand, like I am too, the emergency side of not going through finance. I'm assuming you're not going to bid it out. You're just going to go directly to the vendor that we're dealing with.
There's Sourcewell.
Say again, I'm sorry.
There's Sourcewell and NPP Gov, so they're a government contract.
Right, I understand that. I just kind of want to make sure that we are not missing any other potential savings. Like, if this is required by the state, this is the vendor we have to use by the state, and so on, I guess, correct?
Well, not the vendor, but Zoll is the manufacturer that we use for all of our EMS equipment.
Got it.
We don't want to mismatch. Currently, we have monitors on the vehicles right now, and the state office says we need 6. And so to get these 6, we have to change out all of the monitors that we have.
Oh, I understand. I understand. I get the mismatch. I'm trying to get the emergency and to not go through the finance committee and I'm assuming, I don't like to assume, that this $1.7 million is in your budget already accounted for, correct?
We're reaching into our fund balance.
Into your fund balance of your budget.
Yes, sir.
Got it. And what kind of conversations have you had with the administrator in reference to this?
As far as the need,
Well, yes, the need and the avoiding or wavering of the finance committee. Just want to make sure what kind of conversations you and David.
town administrator.
Yes.
So I let him know, and I gave a justification, sent out the justification for the need, and I also contacted finance, and we talked about the necessity of making sure we get these right now for the need.
Right. And
It was a lengthy conversation.
And Public Safety Committee, did you have any conversations with that chair?
Yes.
Okay, so you've already had some conversations about this particular need.
Yes, sir.
It's just that it arose that it was needed sooner than going through the Finance Committee to make sure the funding source is correct.
Yes, sir.
And did the administrator say that the funding source that you're going about is, well, I guess I should ask him that question, so.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners.
Okay.
So the funding source is fine. The funding source is fine. The chief and I did speak on the matter of the need for replacement equipment. With respect to the emergency, I don't know if he had an opportunity to speak with the CFO about the emergency nature, but I do understand the need. Fund balance within the fire department is sufficient to support what he wants to do.
Got it.
The need, the emergency in terms of waiving it, that requirement he's going to have to explain that to y'all.
Well, I guess I wanted your commitment on that waiver. Are you committed to that waiver, or is this something that we can all have conversations about before approving that particular waiver? Or is there a need to even?
Well, I think the question, again, Chief, I think we need to at least explain to the commissioners why not waiting another week or not waiting 2 weeks or whatever the time frame. I think that's, I'm not trying to put words in commissioners' mouth. I think that's the question, is why now versus, waiting.
So when we had the state office of EMS comes down and does audits on us.
Understood.
And when they looked at our equipment, they noticed that because we're moving to paramedic engines, we needed six additional defibrillator monitors. And because of the FDA and the DPH's compliance requirements, we could get those monitors, but we would have to change out the other ones. And we need these monitors now because we're moving to paramedic engines now. And in order to be able to serve.
How long ago were you moving to the paramedic engines? Whatever, I'm using your term. How long ago, how soon were you moving to this?
That was happening over the past few months. Once we had the audit come down.
So over the past few months, and this conversation being had as an emergency now should have been had 2 or 3 months ago, that this was about to go down. This is what we need to probably do. This is the kind of move we need to make, so we could have been proactively ready for this. Not that we're not ready. It's just that I'm trying to find the emergency, that it couldn't wait, a month or two, because I think if I hear you correctly, long as you get to it before the end of the year, then you'll get whatever savings and whatever transfer of one equipment to the other, it'll be the same. Or am I hearing that incorrectly, though?
I think you are, because
Okay.
right now we're running insufficiently without running the paramedic engines.
Okay.
And in order to get these things ordered and get them in a certain amount of time, and that's the lag when we order them, is the time that it takes to actually get them. Okay. And we didn't actually have the evaluation process in place before when the state office of EMS came down, because we didn't know exactly what the changes in the rules were going to be.
But you knew the changes were going to come based on the mere fact of what you just stated 2 or 3 months ago, when you knew that you was changing from and to. I'm assuming you just didn't realize that you need all 10 of them. I don't know how many there is.
Right.
You just didn't realize that you needed all 10, or because the state came down and said, hey, you got to make this change, and you got to make this change like now.
Right.
So you kind of sort of knew about it. It's just that I'm assuming you decided to just wait until the state came in and said, no, you got to do this.
Well, another thing was we were looking at our funding source, because we really wasn't sure about.
Correct.
We really wasn't sure about if we could actually pull it out of our fund balance or not. And that's the conversation that I had to have with the CFO.
The CFO and the
and Dr. Corp.
Right. So, and then I think they would have probably recommended at that time, 2 or 3, 4 months ago, to say, hey, here's the approach. You've already said, if I'm hearing correctly, you've already talked to the chairman of the public safety and got that kind of recommendation that we move in this direction. I'm gonna have to say that's what I'm gathering, that it came from the public safety committee chair to move forward with this particular setting, not how long ago. But am I correct in that statement?
I'm a little confused in how you asked.
Okay, so you went through the public safety committee chair, and that committee requesting that you possibly make this kind of a change with your equipment.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then, at that time, how long ago was that? Weeks, months, years ago? When that conversation was being had at the committee level?
With the chair?
Yeah, with the chair, yeah.
Was it maybe about a month or so?
Great. And what I'm alluding to, though, and even with the administrator and the CFO, all of that conversation was had during that time as well, correct?
Yes.
So I'm trying to get the emergency side of it, what I'm trying to get to, because it sounds as though you guys have had these conversations and you was moving it forward, which I think it makes sense. But to now come and say we need to do it like now is not having any Q&A behind it other than you trying to explain why we need to kind of do it now.
Well, I wanted to make sure that I go through the right processes and make sure that I was able to get this done in an expedient manner, making sure that I touched each and every one that I needed to touch to make sure that it was possible for me to do this, because at that time, we're just hodgepodging right now and not being able to get done
No,
what it is.
and I think you've done it. You've done things correctly, I think. You started at the committee level, trying to get the recommendation from that committee, recommending that we move forward. You talked to the CFO and you talked to the county administrator. But I think now to say this is an emergency and sidestep the finance side of it, because that's the crucial piece of the puzzle. To be proactively about that, I think, as Commissioner Raxton was alluding to, that I guess he and I and others wanted to have the conversation about the where and how this would be funded and why. You know?
Understood.
Yeah, so I'm just not sold on that this is an emergency. I'm sold on that it's definitely needed and there's no workaround. But how soon do we need to react is my question. I mean,
So if I may,
Sure.
Chief, can we, if we don't do this today, is there something that's going to be at risk if we don't approve this today? I guess that's the question
So
ultimately.
yes.
So what's at risk right now is we're running with defibrillators and monitors on our vehicles that are out of compliancy for the most part. If anything goes wrong with them, parts are hard to get with them. I don't have any. I don't have the 6 that I require to have on the fire engines that I need. So that's part of the immediacy of getting this also. So that's where we're going to be missing if we don't get it approved today.
Okay. I'll just need some more time with it. I can't speak for my colleagues. I'll just need a little bit more time. So, but if we're going to move forward, we'll see what that looks like. But thank you again.
Understood.
I appreciate it. I'll yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, Vice Chair.
So-
Alvarez, you have the floor.
Just going back to what you, just to make sure I heard you correct from the beginning, is this came to you by an inspection. They said we're out of compliance. You need this equipment so that you can be efficient in regards to providing service for our citizens. You have the money. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
I believe I sent the justification to you
You
and
did.
Commissioner Mitchell with all the information that was stated as far as the immediacy.
So we need our trucks to be these 6 so we can be in compliance.
Right, and you can't get
And-
6 without getting all 35.
And there's a lead time in getting this equipment here, correct?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. All right. I'll yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay. Any other discussion? Board, certainly respectfully to the Finance Committee and certainly to the Public Safety Committee, but I hear emergency, that's what I do. Emergencies, we want to respond. You say you have 6 out of compliance. They made it very clear to you. We don't have any backup. I know how it is with that medical equipment. It takes a minute to get it here. And certainly if you have a cardiac arrest, we want to be able to respond immediately. So I'm hoping that the board can kind of feel where we're going with this one, because it's an emergency. And I know we don't want to use that term lightly, but of course in healthcare that means something. So thank you, Chief, for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.
Any other questions, board? Thank you. We're going to move on to the next item. Clerk, please move on.
Yes, number 10 is approval of a contract renewal with CMS 360 Icon for annual support and maintenance for Superior Court in the amount of $52,470 to be funded through the Superior Court budget, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents subject to final legal review. Justin Ricks.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
It's pretty straightforward. I did leave out that this will renew for magistrate courts and state courts as well.
Okay. That was my question.
Thank you.
Any questions, board?
Yeah, that,
Commissioner Rex?
yeah, that was going to be my question. Does other courts utilize this? And then is this covering for all of those other courts as well, this particular effort, or is there a separate type of request that the other courts will also need to make for this software?
So juvenile has their own case management system. They'll make a separate request, as well as probate court. However, ICON covers magistrate, state, and superior court, the other three.
Okay, so this will cover all the other ones?
Yes.
The other three, okay, thank you very much. All right, Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, board? All right, Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Number 11 is approval to enter into an agreement with Atlanta Regional Commission in connection with the freight cluster plan in the amount of $312,500 with a local match of $62,500 to be funded by the Capital Transportation Fund, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Solomon Rana.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Board of Commissioners, and County Administration.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Towards summer of last year, we applied for a grant with Atlanta Regional Commission to request funding for a planning study to better manage our freight clusters in Douglas County. Since then, we have been approved a grant worth $312,000, which is $62,500 more than what we applied for. The local match now is increased from $50,000 to $62,500, so there's a difference of $12,000. We think we're getting a lot of value with that slight increase. So we're coming before you to request acceptance of this grant, and this would allow us to proceed with advertisement and getting a consultant onboarded to start the planning practice. We recommend your approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Managing Director. Any questions for our Managing Director?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Commissioner Braxton, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Congratulations on getting the grant awarded. I noticed that the time of performance has an effective date of July 1st. Will now, with the end date of December 31st, will it now slide out 4 months until maybe April of 2028? Or I just want to understand from a timing perspective, will that slide out? So make sure that we get all the scope completed.
Yep. So the July 1st date gives us 18 months from that date, basically. We received the contract about 2 weeks ago. It went through the regional ARC-GDOT process. It took its time before it came back to us. 18 months is slightly more than what we need for this work. So we're hoping that we can maintain that effective date. If that's the necessity of the contract, still begin work immediately, and we'll be able to finish it before December of next year.
Okay, so you feel confident that
We are very confident.
12/31 date is still good?
Yep, we think so.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Braxton. Any other questions? All right, Madam Clerk?
Thank you.
Number 12 is approval of a contract modification for Place Services, Inc. to amend the contract end date to April 1st, 2026, with no financial change to the contract for the E911 backup site project that is funded by the SPLOST 2022, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia Jenkin.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, County Administration. Today, Place Services, Inc. is currently doing the construction for the E911 backup site. That facility has ran into a couple of hiccups over the course of the last several months. The initial hiccup was the easement and approval of that and negotiating with the church. Subsequently, we also ran into some issues with AT&T in moving off an existing utility pole, which has become kind of a legal headache, and we are requesting our legal to meet with their legal to get that contract signed so we can get the pole out of the way and finish construction. So based on those two factors, we were asking for an extension to the contract from June of last year to April 1st of 2026.
Okay. Any questions, board? All right.
Okay. Number 13 is approval of a contract modification for United Pool, Inc. to amend the contract end date to December 31st, 2025, with no financial change to the contract for the Boundary Water Aquatic Center renovation project that is funded by SPLOST 2022, and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Julia?
Again, this is an exciting time. Actually, this one's a good extension. We are going today to have a final walkthrough for acceptance of Phase 1. They're going to have their reopening on October 15th. What this extension simply allows us to do is they did buy a modular storage unit to be added onto the side of the, outside of the pool. And that unfortunately is due to a time delay getting it constructed to get the modular unit sent over and to be able to install it by December. But as of this right now, they met all their obligations of the initial part of the contract. This is just the phase 2 for the storage unit.
Okay. Any questions, board? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
our director.
Number 14 is approval of the 2026 Douglas County benefit offerings as recommended by the Benefits Committee and authorization for the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. Danielle Nichols.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, and Administration. The Benefits Committee met several times this year to evaluate our current benefit offerings, assess their effectiveness and impact on the employees, and we reviewed annual options with an emphasis on cost efficiency. This year, our priority has been simply to identify opportunities for meaningful savings while ensuring that we continue to provide a comprehensive and competitive health plan. So as a result of this work, the committee has identified one renewal option that we believe represents a strong cost savings for the county. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce Ashley Gilder, who is an executive benefits advisor and consultant with MSI Benefits. She will provide an overview of our 2025 year-to-date health plan utilization. She will also provide an analysis of the renewal and details related to the proposed recommendation for renewal by the Benefits Committee. So with that, Ashley's going to come up and provide a brief presentation.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate y'all having me this morning. Again, I'm Ashley Gilder with MSI Benefits Group, and as previously noted, we have been diligently working to really ensure that the county is offering the most comprehensive and cost-efficient benefits program. So we have thoroughly vetted all options, considered multiple options, and we have reached, in conjunction with the Benefits Committee, a consensus for the 2026 benefits program, with this presentation here to serve as an overview of those recommendations for the 2026 plan year. Okay. No, it's not working. Okay, perfect. Gotta love technology.
Yes, yes. You got some assistance on the way.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see it on the screen, but I can see it up there, so good thing I have good eyes. So here's a presentation of the benefits renewal schedule. So you'll see here that there are 3 plans highlighted in blue. So the health plan self-funded, that's going to be the biggest renewal that we will review today. We also have the Medicare Advantage plan, and then the employer-paid retiree basic life and AD&D. All other benefits, we have secured a rate pass there, so no changes to benefits or cost for those remaining plans. Perfect. All right, so here we have the 2025 year-to-date health plan utilization. The county is 100% credible or predictable from an underwriting standpoint. The reason this is very important is because due to your size, underwriters do almost exclusively look at your health plan performance when underwriting your renewal. So lots of points here, but a few things I want to highlight. You'll see here in the top left-hand corner, we have circled the expected paid loss ratio. So when we are looking at your actual paid claims year to date in the amount of $11 million, we compare that out to underwriting's expected claims liability. And you are running below that 100%. So certainly good news there, running at 4% below where underwriters were expecting your claims to be. The other thing that we have circled here, it's the premium loss ratio. The stop loss is going to be one of the largest components of your fixed costs each year, so it's important that we monitor this premium loss ratio. This is comparing the stop loss premium to your stop loss reimbursements. The county is currently running a little hot here due to those catastrophic claimants or large claimants at 82%. Not terrible, but target is 65%. So what this tells us is that an increase to fixed costs, notably to the stop loss premium here, is warranted. So we have over here, you'll see from a historical claims perspective on a per employee per year basis, pharmacy is doing great. This is largely driven because the county did elect to partner with Veracity RX. So you'll see where your pharmacy claims there at the bottom have continue, to run very well there. Yes, we're trending a little bit up, but still well below where we were prior to moving to Veracity. Medical claims are, of course, trending up. We have some things noted here as to what is driving that. So notably, it's going to be diabetes, both from a medical chronic condition standpoint, and then it also serves as your highest therapeutic class as well, notably those high-cost GLP-1s that are covered under the plan. And then, of course, national healthcare inflation is continuing to rise. So I don't have it noted here, but I believe for 2026, it's expected to reach 9%, which is the steepest it's been in a decade. So this is impacting that overall healthcare claim spend. Now, moving on to the 2026 health plan renewal, you'll see where in the first column we have current. So we have the admin fees plus your stop loss premium gets you to your fixed cost, and then that plus your expected claims gets you currently to the grand total expected cost of $20.5 million. Now, the renewal, assuming no changes, it is a 9% increase. So they are issuing a 20% increase to the fixed cost. That's going to be notably to that stop loss premium, which is what we alluded to on the prior slide. And then the expected claims are being issued an under market trend increase there of roughly 7%. So if we make no changes, the overall increase there is going to be below market trend. The average trend increases are 10 to 12, so we're looking at a 9% increase there. However, our recommendation is to make a slight modification to the stop loss contract terms. You'll see at the top where the individual specific limit is currently $175,000. This means that any claimant, the county pays up to $175,000. Anything beyond that, the stop loss protection for catastrophic claimant coverage kicks in, and the county is reimbursed for any claims above that limit. Our recommendation is to increase that just to $200,000 to realize those savings to fixed costs. So by doing that, the county will save approximately $400,000. I believe the math is right at $390,000. So overall, that option will bring us down to an 8.53% increase. We did issue a comprehensive stop loss market evaluation. We went to about 20 stop loss carriers, as we do on an annual basis, and this is the most competitive option illustrated here. Moving on to the health plan designs and contributions. So the county has not tweaked the plan designs or contributions since 2017. Our recommendation is, again, not to change employee contributions. However, we are recommending a slight modification to the plan designs. So currently, the county offers two plans, both with a $1,000 deductible and the same out-of-pocket max. We are recommending, again, that we tweak those, notably that HMO $1,000 plan. We are recommending it be increased to $1,500 and then $4,500 for family, with the out-of-pocket max to change from $3,000 and $9,000 to $4,000 and $12,000. But you will see those deductions are staying the same. Now, with the other plan, the point of service 1,000 plan, you'll see where there are really, no significant changes there, a little bit higher coinsurance, since that is a more richer plan, a better plan, and then a slight increase to that out-of-network coverage. So again, no changes recommended to deductions. However, if employees do want to keep their plan the same, they can. So if they're in the HMO 1000 today and they want to move to that point of service 1000, so to keep that same deductible, they can absolutely do that, but they would just see an uptick in deduction. So it's really giving employees a choice. It's putting more of a spread amongst the two plans being offered instead of having them so closely aligned. As illustrated on the next slide here, even by bumping up that deductible to $1,500, although you are still offering a $1,000 deductible option, you'll see that in comparison to the regional benchmarking here, you are still very much competitive in terms of the plan components. Illustrated here is the health plan renewal recap. So this just recaps what we've discussed. So currently, assuming no changes, it gets to an overall cost of $20.5 million. And then the renewal, if we do not do anything, we keep everything exactly the same at the $175,000 specific limit. With those plan changes, it gets us to a 4.71. So by offering those plan adjustments, it not only gives employees choice, but it also does generate a projected savings of $893,709. Now, the ultimate recommendation is going to move forward with increasing that stop loss limit so as to realize those savings to fixed cost, and then also make those recommended plan changes right at the $907,000 to expected claims and savings, which gets us to an overall increase of 4.10%. Here's the Medicare Advantage plan renewal. So we are recommending that the county renew with Aetna. We are unfortunately seeing really nationwide increases here. We did issue a comprehensive market evaluation. There was a bit of a more competitive option through Humana that we did consider. However, that would cause disruption to retirees. So the recommendation here is to renew with Aetna. No plan changes to retirees, no changes to retiree cost, for an overall increase here of 19.35%, or an overall increase to the county of $918,000. Moving on to the employer-paid life and disability renewals, again, we did secure rate passes here, with the only change being just to that employer-paid retiree basic life and AD&D. This is to be expected. It is, of course, an aging population there. So we did secure a 10% increase to the employer-paid basic life and AD&D. No other changes to any of the benefits noted here. So it gets us to an overall increase of roughly $10,000, or a 2.16% increase. And then again here is just an outline of our overall recommendation. So we did reach, like I said, a unanimous consensus alongside the benefits committee for these recommendations. So again, the health plan, we are recommending that the county increase the stop loss limit from $175,000 to $200,000 to generate those projected savings there to fixed cost. Adjust the plan design offerings from the two $1,000 deductible plans to the $1,500 and $1,000 deductible options, and then no change to employee deductions. Dental and vision, no changes there. We did secure a rate pass, so no adjustments to the benefits or the cost. Medicare Advantage, renew with Aetna. Again, no changes to plan designs for those retirees and no change to deductions. And then the employer-paid life and long-term disability, renew with One America. Everything was, secured with a rate pass, no changes there, with the exception of that 10% increase issued for retiree life, and then no changes to any of the remaining benefits. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. So we hope that this information was helpful, and we are here to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Okay, thank you so much, Ashley, and then
Yes.
also thank you so much, Managing Director. All right, any questions, board? Okay.
Yes, I've got some. I'm just trying to consolidate my thoughts. That was a lot.
I know.
I don't know if anybody else have any questions, go right ahead, but I'm just.
Okay.
Perhaps give
The
comments.
chairman of the Medical Benefits Committee, you have the floor.
Well, again, thank you, and I'm glad, again, with the presentation, thank you for bringing that forth. Again, many months of really in-depth conversation, reviews, discussion, looking at options, and the committee was definitely, after many sessions, aligned with what has been presented here. So again, just want to thank Ashley as well as Managing Director Nichols for bringing this forth. And Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think I'm
Commissioner
ready.
Mitchell, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think I'm ready now, okay.
Okay.
And two, I want to say thank you, because with this benefits scenario, Ms. Nichols and you guys, I mean, great job on at least recommending either change or no change, steadfast, or whatever the case may be. Just a couple of questions. So how advanced are we thinking when it comes to any recommendations of these changes? Meaning, because healthcare is ultimately continuously rising. I've never known healthcare or benefits or anything of that caliber to go downhill. So with that being said, with these recommendations, is this a future thought process looking into the future 5, 10, 20 years? Or is it just right now, we can fix it for right now and everybody will be okay for the moment, but next year we'll be back at this juncture and now we've got an increase of, 10 million, or I don't know, I'm just throwing out a number, making it up though. Yes, ma'am.
And Commissioner Mitchell, that's a great question. One thing that I will ask the board to keep in mind is that we are a self-insured plan, so we pay our claims.
Yes.
And then we have an aging population. We also have an increase in enrollees for our plan, so we've gone up almost 100 employees, as well as we have more employees that are transitioning on to the retiree plan.
Yes.
So having said that, healthcare costs will go up annually, regardless of any modifications that we present or recommend to the board. But what we really tried to focus on this year, which is what we try to do every year, is see how we can introduce opportunities for cost savings with minimum impact to our enrollees. So we have not increased, from a county perspective, the premium costs for employees in over 8 years. So making the adjustments to the plan design is how we were able to garner almost $1 million in savings. Now, the initial ask that we presented to Ashley and John, which are the executive team that consult us on our benefits, was $1.5 million. We just couldn't make it happen without there being significant change to our plan, and the employees would really feel that. While it would have garnered costs to the county, but it would have come at a cost, and our employees would have felt that tremendously.
And I would also just add, the county is in a very good position in terms of proactively making decisions to help mitigate those increases that we know are coming. So to answer your question, for instance, the county, yes, you are self-funded, which is much better than a fully insured arrangement where the carrier is always winning, for years where you're running below expected. So not only are you self-funded, but you've also carved out your pharmacy, and implemented those pharmacy cost mitigation programs, saving the county money and members' money. You have also recently implemented Know the Cost, so the carved out radiology savings program, which has generated additional savings for the county while also affording employees, a benefit there where they can obtain those imaging type procedures at no cost to them. So I would say kind of that next step is from that plan design perspective. The county has always been very thoughtful on not wanting to create any disruption to employees, and y'all have done a tremendous job there. It shows how much you all value, your employees and their members, but it is time that we make an adjustment there, because like you said, healthcare is continuing to rise. It's going to rise every year.
Yes.
So it is important that we do make some baby steps, you know, where we can, and that's definitely the area of opportunity that we've identified, while still providing employees the option, you know, they can keep their deductions the same, or they can keep their plans exactly where they are. So we feel like this will, you know, help prevent future significant changes.
Right.
So I did want to, you know, just add on that y'all are in a very good proactive stance there in terms of your benefits.
And I'm glad that
program.
we are, and I'm glad to have the leadership of Ms. Nichols here and kind of directing this train here.
Commissioner Mitchell, if I can
Yes,
just interrupt
sure.
for 1 second as an overlay to what Ashley just shared. I just want to remind the board that the county did enter into a partnership with EHG, which will help us educate our members with regards to things that will really help or will prevent them potentially from moving into a state where they may incur or develop a catastrophic illness. So as we continue to roll out that program and enhance the offerings that we offer our employees, that is a measure that is taken as well to help with the cost.
See, that's why you're there. You're very proactive in kind of getting us there and making sure we see the 10, 20-year picture down the road, because I just noticed I've been not in the healthcare business, but I've been part of these committees and things of that caliber, and I've noticed that healthcare, just from, you know, what I've just recently read, are going up, period. So those that are grandfathered, I guess, or is there such thing as those that are seniors or retirees that have retired and did their thing? What happens to those guys in this scheme of things?
So there are no changes to
Okay.
those benefits. So
Okay.
we are just absorbing the cost increase for that population. So there are
Okay.
no change, no plan modifications,
Okay.
no design changes to that population, and also recognizing that the retiree population is increasing as well.
Yes, yes, and I was going to ask, to add to that, what happens to those that are actually getting ready to go? Because there's some of even us sitting up here on this board will eventually, you know, be addressing that window. So we're planning for those guys, the future retirees, and those that are retired, there are no changes, so we absorbing that cost, I guess, if I heard you correctly.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, and so can you explain to me once more about the $400,000 savings that was created? I don't remember exactly where it was, and the $840,999 renewal. Yeah,
Yes.
that one, yeah.
Yes, so the savings in the, I believe it's 390,000 in savings.
Okay.
That's going to be to the stop loss premium.
Okay.
So that is by raising that individual stop loss limit from 175,000 to 200.
Okay.
So currently, the county pays up to 175,000 for every single member on the health plan.
Okay.
By raising that limit to 200, so the county will have a little bit more liability from
Okay.
a claims perspective.
Okay.
So the county, you know, will basically be on the hook for up to 200,000 for every single member on the health plan. But by doing that, it's then generating that fixed cost savings. So the stop loss carriers are saying, okay, if the county is willing to take on that a little bit additional liability from a claims perspective, we'll decrease that stop loss premium.
Understood.
And those are hard dollar fixed cost savings, which
Got it.
which is why we're saying, okay, let's take those fixed cost savings and then kind of take a chance on the claims, since those are variable costs.
Right, because you never know, you don't know who's going to do what during this year or annual renewal timeframe. So,
Yes.
and you have to address that as it comes along.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just to break it down for those of you who are not well versed in benefits, meaning the viewers, so essentially we will pay more when it comes to that stop loss coverage. However, where we garner the savings is our premium will substantially reduce. So that $300,000, almost $400,000 number, that's where we'll realize those savings.
Right, got you.
And then the additional savings is generated from those plan design changes. So by increasing that one plan from the $1,000 deductible to the $1,500 deductible, it's basically putting a little bit more let's say employees will have a little bit more skin in the game,
Mm-hmm.
which will, is projected to reduce the overall claims. So that's where that savings, if we stay at the $175,000 specific limit, it's projecting a savings of, I believe it's, hold on, let me find it. 800 and something thousand,
Yeah,
863.
840, was that the 840.99 or am I, did I write something down?
Let me find it. That's the $893,709, so on slide 7 there. So, yep, and then if we increase the individual specific limit to 200,000, which we are recommending, those plan design changes alone are projected to decrease those claims by 907,000.
Got
So
it.
that option there illustrates the change to the specific, stop loss limit, and then also those plan changes there.
Okay, one last question, I'm gonna leave you guys alone. I know this is good though, this is really good
Yes,
stuff.
good.
And especially for the general public and the employees. There's a 9% increase that I think the grand total expected cost was a 9% increase.
Yes, for the renewal, yes.
For the
sir.
renewal, yes, yes.
Yes.
Can you kind of elaborate on that so I can kind of wrap my head around that?
And Ashley, before you do that, if you
Okay.
would share with the board and for the public the typical annual increase for a renewal.
Yes, absolutely. So the renewal here, yes, from a grand total cost perspective, before employee deductions and all that, it is right at that 9% renewal increase. And then that option, it gets us down to the 8.35. That's, barring any plan changes. If we do make those plan changes, the overall gross increase there is going to be the 4.71 for the renewal, or that 4% renewal increase. So let's focus, since we've, are likely to make the plan changes, those are really the overall increases there. And market trend increases for plans that are running very well are in the 10 to 12% range. So meaning I have some groups that have not taken as proactive of a stance as you all have, and they're staring down 20 and 30% renewal increases. So yes, again, the renewal is 9%. If we make the changes, it's going to be that 4.7. Or if we do it with the increased spec limit and the plan changes, it gets us down to the 4% increase. And that is just derived by the fixed cost, which is going to be your admin cost and your stop loss premium, so catastrophic claimant protection, and then also your expected claims.
What's recurring, any recurring, the recurring tool, what should we anticipate in that realm?
What should you anticipate for?
Well, if there's any recurring, let me,
Yeah, can you give some flavor? I think we had a chart up there regarding competitiveness.
Yes.
In terms of recruiting. I think you were.
recruiting, I'm
talking
sorry.
about recruiting earlier.
Yes, recruiting,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yep, so slide 6 here, so you'll see where we have compared your plan currently to some of the regional benchmarking here, if you will. And so you'll see where we have the employee monthly cost at the top. We then have the employer percentages that y'all are paying to that overall cost. Again, very generous numbers there. So from an overall standpoint, you're contributing 92% to employee only, and then 78, 77%, 86% for that family coverage. And then we get to the health plan design components. So you'll see where currently at that $1,000 deductible, compared to some of those others who have $2,500 deductible, 17, 18, it really, there are some other higher options there as well. Your benefits are extremely competitive, both from a plan offering standpoint, and then what the county contributes is really quite generous compared to those other markets.
In the other markets, so we rank number 1 when we look at the other markets, specifically the state of Georgia, Fulton County government, Cobb County government, and the city of Douglasville. So we are extremely competitive, and we have a very rich plan that we do offer our employee population and our retirees.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so I'll just add, just to say, good stuff. I I wish I had a little bit more time with it just to
Sure.
digest it. I don't know if there's anything we're needing to do here. And from my understanding too, the Benefits Committee is recommending these changes.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
rightfully say that?
Yes, the renewal option.
Renewal
With the
options, okay.
plan, with the plan design modifications. That's what the Benefits Committee is recommending.
Got it, okay. Well, outside of that, job well done. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And I'll yield back, Madam Chair. Thank you
Okay.
again.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Any other remarks? Thank you all so much in taking the time to just galvanize the formulary, which we looked at about 2017.
Yes.
And we were able to do that, and that's really given us, I'm speaking to the board now, just giving us some room, because we were able to squeeze the pharmaceutical side down and look at some things that was related to that formulary. So thank you all so much for doing that. And then I know it's a 7-year streak. Our managing director said we're going into 8 years, and I said in the Bible, 8 years means a new beginning. So that means we're going to try to keep the trend up to respond to the needs of our employees. We realize they have families, and we just want to do what we do as leaders here. And I appreciate our chairman. I'm the vice chairman of the Benefits Committee, and our chairman certainly worked very diligently and hard to make sure we had options for our employees without changes. I love that. So again, thank you all so much for bringing this information.
And I definitely want to thank the chair of the committee, Commissioner Raxton, and yourself, Madam Chair, because we did consider raising premiums for employees, but they were adamant about, no, this is enough, and we wanted to be mindful that while we could have done that, and that would have rendered about $125,000 in savings, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have been worth it, because the employees would have felt that as well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk?
Okay, our last item, number 15, is approval of the 2026 schedule for BOC work sessions, commission meetings, planning and zoning, board meetings, and variance hearings. You have the proposed 2026 schedule in your packet, so if you could just review those before tomorrow.
Okay, that's it. All right, with that being said, any commissioner comments? Do we have any commissioner comments before? Okay, if not, certainly, Madam County Attorney, do we need to go into executive session?
Yes, if you can state all the reasons, please.
Yes. Okay, do we need to go into executive session for litigation, personnel, real estate, and cybersecurity? And oh, wait a minute, let me make sure. Yeah, let me say it again. Personnel, real estate, cybersecurity, and had litigation on here, Lisa. Okay, that's good. Do we have a motion, Board of Commissioners, to go into executive session for litigation, personnel, real estate, and cybersecurity?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, Board? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a 4 unanimous vote, and the motion carries to go into executive session. Citizens of Douglas County, we will take a slight pause for the calls to go into executive session. We will return momentarily, and we greatly appreciate your presence. Your patience. Thank you.